All right, in this week's market report, we are going to discuss the 6 ways that buyers can guarantee they're going to overpay for a property.
And fail.
And fail. All right, number 1. Oh, I get to introduce this one.
Yeah.
Number 1, listen to the media. Kel, what do you think about that?
Okay, this is so true, right? Because the media psychologists for years and years have said that they focus on the negatives that are going on because that's what we the people all gravitate towards and want to hear. For whatever reason, there are a whole lot of speculations on why and all that. But so they're going to talk about what they get paid for. They get paid by advertisers who
Want eyes. They
right?
want you to click.
And more eyes are on it with
Yep.
negative news. So that's why the media reports negativity.
Yep, and I actually did a video on an article that a client sent to us that was talking about how the majority of home buyers that had purchased in the last year were underwater. So that feeds into the narrative of, there's going to be all these foreclosures, there's going to be this huge market crash. If you watch that video, you'll see how the headline was very misleading and how the details of the article are actually quite misleading as well. So you have to interpret and look at what they're actually saying and what they're doing and what they're manipulating.
This is why they're focusing on people losing their homes, people foreclosing and all that, which isn't a lot in our area, right?
Yeah, not at all. No. Okay. But yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Okay.
That's exactly
Number
so
2.
let's talk next. Following the herd.
Following the herd. This is my favorite topic. Okay. So let's think about this logically for a minute. A seller wants to sell their house for the most money possible. A buyer wants to get a property and get a good deal. It's so funny to me because every time I talk to a buyer, their criteria is I want this, and I want to get a good deal. Every buyer wants a good deal. So if you have a herd that is in the market, a herd of buyers that are in the market like we had 6 to 8 months ago, then what happens with that is you have supply and demand. Demand is higher than supply, so the seller gets to pick and choose who gets to buy their house, and they're going to pick the people that give them the most money and the best terms. So a buyer's not going to be able to get that deal they're looking for, okay? So then interest rates go up, and the media starts talking about this huge collapse that's going to come.
Because this is where the media plays into this
Exactly.
part 2 herd
Exactly.
mentality, right?
Yeah. So the media, starts saying this, so the herd mentality starts pulling back. And as the herd pulls back, sellers now all of a sudden they don't have all these buyers picking their house. So for them to get the most money possible, they may have to give up some stuff. They may even have to give up a little bit on price because there are no buyers in the market.
Maybe actually allow home inspections again.
Maybe give contingencies, yes. But the key to that is it's because all the buyers pulled out. Okay, the buyers are still there. The buyers still want to buy houses. The buyers are still qualified for houses. They just pulled back. So when you follow the herd, you don't get what you want. Go against the herd. When you're a buyer and you want to get a deal on a property, when there are no buyers in the market, that's when you go buy. Don't be scared. Don't listen to the media, or do listen to the media, whatever you want to do, but still go against the herd. That's when you can get what you want. So following the herd is a great way to make sure you overpay for a property.
And fail.
Okay.
Okay.
What's next?
All right. This is more following the herd.
Yes.
Waiting for spring and summer.
Yes, everybody's waiting for spring and summer.
If you have a good reason to do it, fine.
Yeah,
obviously,
if you have to, and what is that good reason? So let's think about
Leases are
that.
up.
Okay, so we have clients with leases that we're negotiating with landlords to help them maybe get out of the lease, or maybe something beneficial to both parties, or you have to look at what your reasoning is. Now, if there's something that you have to do with regards that's an actual condition that you can't change, then do what you have to do, come in the market when you can. But if it's a situation where you do have options, or you think you may have options, look at those options so that you don't have to wait till spring or summer, because spring or summer is when the herd is coming out. Even if interest rates don't make a huge change, the herd is still going to be coming out because everybody is waiting for spring or summer. Okay, so that's point number 3.
True that. Point 4, how to fail.
Oh man,
Here.
waiting for the interest rates to come down. What do you think about that?
That's not gonna happen. I mean, little ebbs and flows are gonna happen with interest rates. We've seen them go 6.75 and then down to just around 6 and all that.
We saw 5.99 the other
right?
day. Yeah.
But we're not gonna get back down to what you were used to if you were shopping around or pre-qualified last year, end of last year. It's not the same, right? It's just not the same. You can always refinance in 6 months if it does come down, right? So it's and they're still historically low.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Do we
still
have
really
buyers that are waiting on the interest rates to come down?
Still.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we have buyers that are waiting on spring and summer?
Yeah.
What does that define? The herd.
Following the herd,
So-
who's listening to media,
Yes.
talk about all the negativity,
Yes.
because that's what earns their dollars. And we all do what it takes.
Yeah.
I mean, we all
Yeah.
do what our jobs tell us to do.
So-
of course, but
With the interest rates, should the interest rates drop, what's going to happen? All those buyers are going to flood the market again. And then you're paying too much money for a property, which you cannot change the price you pay for a property. You can always change your lending, but once you buy the property and pay for the property, you can't change the price you pay. So that's a great way to overpay for a property. And what else?
And
lose?
fail.
What were we saying? Okay, anyway. All right, number 5. Okay, a bad agent or no agent.
Okay.
Explain this one.
All right. You need an agent. Okay, we don't have to go into all of the things contracts and pitfalls and this and that.
Liabilities
if you don't
and
know
yes.
what you're doing and all the protections that we agents are here to provide for you guys. But also, I mean, there are bad agents out there. And what I mean by bad agent is some that they don't have the productivity, which is the experience. They're not up to date with all the changes that are happening in contracts. I mean, these things change at least twice a year, sometimes more if there's something that's pretty serious. But the real important point that I want to make about a bad agent is a bad agent doesn't play nice with other agents.
Yep.
So we're not just in it to build relationships with our clients, right? And keep your business and protect you and all this, but we have to build really great relationships with our realtor counterparts and lenders and title people. We want them to love us, and we want to be helpful and kind, and we want everybody to win so that they want us to win and reciprocate. The more people like your agent, the more they're going to like you. The more they're going to want to give to you because they want to give to your agent.
The better quality of the contract that is written. If you're on the buy side, the better quality of the contract that's written by an agent. I can't tell you when there's multiple offers in a situation, 3 of the 5 contracts that come in are poorly written. They're immediately dismissed because if the agent can't write a contract properly, what are they going to do as you go through the process? So it's very interesting, and that's what makes us so good because Kelly is extremely detail oriented. She can write a contract like nobody else. We'll do that on another video. All right.
Okay, there's a point that I want to make. It's sort of a litmus test, right? If you ever ask an agent about another agent, and if they're negative, that's a good sign that they're not going to play nice with others. If they say, you know what, I've worked with them before, or I've heard about them, and you know what, I'll deal whatever comes up. I'm gonna. You don't worry about it because I've got it, and I'm gonna make sure everything happens great. Just don't listen to bad talk about people.
All right.
It's just not nice.
Okay. And the last one.
I want to go into bad lending. Okay. So I'm a licensed lender, non-practicing. So I'm gonna let you say why bad lenders.
Okay, so how can a non-lender or bad lender cause a buyer to pay too much for a property? Well, the lender may or may not disclose all of the fees that they charge to give you a certain rate. So for example, if they're saying, I can get you a rate of 3.5% or whatever, and you go in there and you're like, this is excellent, and the next thing you know, you've got $50,000 in points that you're paying, and that you didn't know that until it came down to the point where you actually had the contract written and you got the loan estimate. Also, we've had lenders that have potentially cost our clients money because they wouldn't give us the documents that we needed on time. We had a very large bank that did not give us a denial letter in time to meet the financing contingency. So our buyer would have lost $80,000 on that transaction.
That earnest money deposit, right?
His earnest money deposit. And luckily, Kelly took that, we saved it. But had we not caught that.
The reason for this is, let me interrupt, is lenders, they're not knowledgeable on our contracts, right? And sometimes they're licensed for lending certainly in this state, but in other states as well. They still don't know our contracts. We had to send them evidence of the contract, which we always provide to them, but highlighted. If this, then they lose all this money and it'll be your fault, right?
Yeah, we had a lender in this situation that was in New York telling our client, don't worry, your earnest money is not going to cost you anything. We don't have to worry about that deadline. So we had to actually take the contract, break out the paragraphs, send it to the lender, send it to the lender's manager because the lender still didn't go along with it. And we had to get several different levels of involvement before they would actually meet the deadline. So these are things that can cost you. And if you have a bad agent that's not on top of the lending, those things can cost you money.
And let me give one more. I'm sorry that this is getting
We're
long.
going on, yeah.
So when you're price shopping your lenders for the best rate, usually that's what you're focused on is the best rate. And a lender will ask you, what's the most important things, your payment or your rate? And if people say rate, then they're like, rate, 3%, right? I got you 3. You're like, wow, no one else is giving me 3% now. And they're like, yeah, here's the letter. And you want to shop that around, but you have another lender saying, I can't do anything until you show me your loan estimate. That's true, right? A loan estimate shows you not only the rate they're giving you, the down payment, the loan amount, but they're also showing you the points they're charging to get you that rate.
Yep.
So your
And that
lender
only comes only after a ratified contract.
only after that. Your lender can only give so much until they get a loan estimate in hand, and they take that then to corporate, to their back office to say, look, this is what they're doing. Can we do better? Arm them with that because they want to fight for you as much as you want them to, right?
Okay, so in summary, what are the 6 steps to make sure that you guarantee yourself to overpay for a property? Number 1.
Make sure you fail.
And make sure you fail. Listen to the media. Follow the herd. Wait for spring and summer. Wait for the interest rates to come down.
Get a bad agent or
no agent. And bad lenders.
Bad lender.
All right. Okay, so that's our soapbox for this week. If you have any questions, let us know.